Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, come in for about 2 minutes, I promise. I promise. Come in for about 2 minutes and then I'm getting out of y'all's face. Come on in, come in, come in, as I say. It's been a minute, last week? But I just wanted to share this with you, and then I'm going back into my quiet space and place. Because I got lots to do. Hey, 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 I see y'all, I got lots to do. Things to do. Catching up on some things. First, I had to pull my whole life together, y'all. If y'all had just seen me boo-hooing a few minutes ago, and I'll tell y'all why I was boo-hooing. Oh my gosh, God is really, really good. He is doing some awesome things, some great things, opening up some doors, closing other doors, y'all. Sometimes we need to have God close some doors too now. The same way that we say, God, I need you to get this thing popping, some stuff we need to say, God, we need you to shut that down. Because I'm telling y'all, the same way that he can get it going, he can close it too. Sometimes you need him to do that. But come on in. I ain't going to be here long, y'all, because, again, I have things I have to accomplish today. Headache, no headache. I got to get it done. Hey, 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 y'all. I see y'all. But share this with somebody. For real, y'all. Share this with somebody. This is a motivational a real quick motivational live. So share it with somebody that you know that needs some motivation, or it could just be you that needs some motivation, but share it anyway. I ain't gonna say it no more. I'm just gonna do what I gotta do. Share or don't share, but I'm asking you to share it with somebody so they can get some encouragement on today. Hey, 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 Coach Daphne, I see you. Hey, Brian, I see you. Yes, he is. Hey, Carla, I see you. Hey, 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 Chaplain Clark, I see you too. Hey, Pastor Crawford. Hey, Sister Melba, I see y'all. The crew is up in here. But y'all, let me tell y'all something. Then I'm going to tell y'all why I was over here boo-hooing. If y'all just saw the photo I posted, y'all understand why I'm boo-hooing. But about 3 weeks ago, someone asked me, we're having a chat, and someone asked me, they said, Dr. K, how do you do it? How do you keep going when you know people don't like you? When you know people don't support you? When you know people hate on you? When you know people, just don't do certain things that they don't want to do when it comes concerning you. They won't share resources with you. They won't help you. They won't push you. And she asked me, how do I do it? And I told her, number one, God. And then number two is I know my why. And people who have that type of mentality are not part of my why. The photo of the lady that I posted a few minutes ago, that's my why. Some of you guys that are on this live, this is my why. This is why I keep going. And I don't allow what people say or what people don't say or what people do or what people don't do and should do. I don't allow that to stop me. I have to keep going. I tell people, if a migraine can't shut me down, people can't either. Y'all know what I'm saying? I just have that mentality that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 monkeys don't stop the show. That's how I do it. And so I keep going because I know my why, and I rely on God. I don't rely on people. I used to do that because the moment you start relying, I didn't say not to seek people out for certain things, but when you just completely rely on people, you will get let down every time. So I'm one of those people that I rely on God, and then I go and seek people after I make sure that I'm relying on God, because in the end, if they don't do, He will. And so you have to make sure that He is your first line of defense, as I say, and He's the first person that you seek on anything. But I have to keep going. I have to keep doing what I'm doing. And today was just another reminder of my why. Let me take this off because I'm getting a glare from y'all. But it was another reminder of my why, because I was like, man, I was getting irritated. Y'all know I'll be real with y'all. I was getting irritated and frustrated from a lot of people that were around me, and that's why I had been pulling back and disconnecting. I was getting irritated because I kept saying, y'all won't just apply what you've learned. You won't just do nothing. You would rather complain about everything than just do something. And I said, God, I just need to just get away from people for a minute. Y'all, sometimes it requires you to get away. And so I just like, you know what? I was talking to some folk, and some folk I wasn't talked to, and I still haven't talked to, and I don't feel like I want to right now. Just for the sake of my peace, y'all. Okay, for the sake of my peace. I'm trying not to preach over here because we ain't out of the woods yet with this headache. But today, when I scheduled this Zoom meeting with the young lady that y'all saw on the photo, it really didn't hit me until we got on the Zoom meeting. And yes, I posted with her permission. Till we got on the Zoom meeting. And I'm sitting here and I'm watching this lady in her one room hut, whatever it is that she's living in Nigeria, on a phone, y'all, on Zoom with these earphones on. Connection is horrible. We're going in and going out. We're having to do most of everything by text in the chat. And I'm sitting here, watch her just lose her mind when I tell her that I got her manuscript and that we were going to publish the manuscript. She was one of the writers in my International Women Writers group for the Let's Write Masterclass. So she was in there, and I told her we're going to accept her manuscript, and she was going to be the second one to get published in July, because I'm weaving them in because that's how God told me to do it. And I was sitting here and I'm watching her lose it, and then I'm thinking about us. Okay, I'm thinking about us, and I was like, God, we just complain about so much stupid stuff, and here's this woman who has just the basic needs, and she's losing it because somebody's going to publish her book. And here's the thing that really made me lose my mind, y'all, and I was just a blubbering mess, like I'm about to be right now, when I said, well, we got to figure out how we're going to do this. Because I know how to get it published and all that good stuff, but I told her the way we're going to publish, and I said, but we want to make sure that your royalties come to you. We want to make sure that money and finances are coming into your household, because y'all, these women, many of them, they're not allowed to have like regular jobs. Some of them won't get published over there because they're women. And so I've taken this on because God has allowed me to do that, to open the door for me to do that. And I'm in my mind, like, how we're going to make sure that, when we sell her books over here, she can get her monies and stuff like that. And I said, well, God, we're going to have to work it out. Because, she don't have Cash App, and they don't have that where she is right now. And, and PayPal and all this stuff, because she's a woman and she wasn't allowed to have a lot of this stuff. So I'm sitting here thinking about all of this, and God is in my ear saying, Karen, don't even worry about that. Just publish the woman's book. And I'm like, okay. I said, well, we're going to and then she stopped me in the middle, and I said, because I was getting ready to say how we're going to work this out, maybe MoneyGram, maybe, whatever we got to do to get her funds to help take care of her and her family. And she told me, she says, Dr. K, she says, I don't care. She said, I don't care nothing about the money. She said, I don't care. She says, I'm going to be heard. Because when y'all hear her story, I'm telling y'all, and she has this whole website. Man, she has started a website. She started this initiative over there. She has she has a program for women and girls, y'all. I'm telling you, she started this over there herself. And when y'all start to see her story unfold, y'all understand why I'm boohooing and stuff. And she just said, somebody's going to hear my voice. She said, somebody's going to hear my voice. I'm going to be published. That's the only thing that she cares about right now, is that her voice is going to be heard, even though, she has the websites and things that she started, and this initiative for women and young girls who have been abused and raped and things of that nature. But it was just the fact that she was actually going to have her name on a book about these things, about her experiences, and somebody is going to know what she went through, because they don't get a chance to get interviewed because they're women. Nobody, quote unquote, don't nobody want to hear what they got to say. And I told her, no, I'm very interested in what you have to say. And because this is one of the gifts that God has given me. This is one of the areas that God has talented me in is women empowerment. That's what I do. That's why y'all see my photos everywhere. I ain't just out here snapping photos just because, I want to look at myself. No, I'm out here to show women because I went through some of the crazy stuff that you can go through, and I'm still here. I'm still in my right mind, barely. I'm still in my right mind. You know what I'm saying? After the fact, and God has did a whole turnaround in my life. And so he's afforded me the opportunity to be a conduit into which women that have experienced stuff like this have a way of letting the world hear them and see them. And so I was just losing it. And I'm sitting here, it's like, this woman is sitting in the dark on the floor with earplugs in her ears on a Zoom meeting with me like we were in a boardroom. And then women over here can't even get it together. Women over here can't even work together. Too busy competing. I always tell people, I don't have time for that. This is what God, if y'all really want, this is what God got me doing. When y'all don't see me and I'm missing, this is what God has me doing. This is the work. This is what y'all would call being a boss. That's why I say a boss. This is how God has me being a boss out here. This is the work. This ain't just posting up flyers. This ain't just trying to look and be like somebody else that do. This is the work. This is where you sit down and you try to figure out language barriers. This is where you sit down and try to figure out how you're going to get face to face when connections are crazy and you working around different time zones and things of that nature. This is the work. This is why I be tired, y'all. But you know what? I told God, use me however he wanted to use me. And we have to be available for God to use us outside of the church. Period. I love me some church and going to church. But God is trying to use us in different avenues in order to get people to learn about him. And yes, she's Muslim. That is her faith. But we all serve the same God at the end of the day, and her faith has nothing to do with her experiences as a woman and being heard. And that's what I'm here to do. And so as long as there's breath in this body, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep doing what God is telling me to do. Y'all can say what y'all want to say about me. Y'all can do what y'all want to do without me. Support, don't support. I told people, I said, I'm so past that right now because people are just going to be people at the end of the day. They're either going to do it or they're not. And if you look at the folk who don't, they never have and they never will. And you have to get over it. You have to keep going. You just have to push past that. And you have to get focused on the thing that God told you to do. And I tell people this all the time. And don't be out here trying to do something that God didn't tell you to do just because people are telling you to do it. Okay, just because people are saying this is what I see you doing, but what did God say for you to do? It's a difference, y'all. Okay, it's a difference between somebody saying what God is got for you to do than what God is saying what He wants you to do. So many people are still sitting here, don't even understand and know what their purpose is because they waiting to hear it from somebody else when God already done told you, I know the thoughts that I have towards you. And if he the only one who knows the thoughts, and if he is the author and finisher of your faith, I think you need to go and seek out the author of what you're supposed to be doing, because the author already has your purpose and your destiny written out. And so you sitting around here waiting for somebody who's reading it and not nobody who wrote it. I'd rather go to the author who wrote it than to get it secondhand from somebody who reading it, because everybody who reads something, come on y'all, see how I make these books connect with this stuff? Because people who read it will have a different interpretation than the way that it was written. Period. Before you do something and stop and think, would you still do it if Jesus was sitting right beside you? Amanda Black, let me tell you something, sis. In this season, folk do stuff. Jesus is sitting right next to them. Jesus is watching, and they still do stuff contrary to what he says to do. Is he physically there? No, but is he there? Yes, he's there watching, and they still do. Some of them, if he was sitting right beside them, girl, they still would do the opposite of what he telling them to do. He had people to do that. Okay. So yeah, that's how we ought to be doing things, but people just won't. People, and you have to be okay. And that's what God told me. God told me, Karen, why are you even worried about them people? He told me they're not even part of the plan that I have for you. He said, they're not even part of the plan I have for you. He said, let me remind you who's part of the plan that I have for you. Today, he reminded me who is part of the plan that he has for me. And those that are not part of the plan, I always tell people, it is what it is at this point, and it is whatever God says it is. And so, yeah, so I was a blubbering mess over here because I'm sitting here looking, and me and her having this conversation, like, and to her, it ain't no big deal. She's sitting on the floor in the dark. You know what I'm saying? And she had a sheet for a background because she didn't want me to see her walls. And I'm sitting here like she was more professional than some of these folk out here that claim they professionals. And that's why I always tell God, I say, God, I thank you. I thank you. I thank God for how he uses me. And that ain't me being conceited. That ain't me being prideful. That ain't me having my head in the clouds and thinking higher than myself and more than none of that. No, but I thank God for using me the way he's using me, because he would love to use a whole bunch of other people like that, but it's not popular. You don't get to be in the spotlight, and you don't get to showboat when he uses you like this to deal with people right there. See, this is where, as we say, ministry, where you have to roll your sleeves up and get down there where they at. See, a lot of people wouldn't do this, and that's why a lot of them are experiencing the things that they experience. And here's a kicker for y'all. Since I'm on my soapbox right now, Coach Daphne, since I'm on my soapbox, you can't call yourself a change agent if you ain't changed. Period. Because in order for you to change anything else, you got to change you first. You got to change you first. And you're not a change agent if the change isn't a permanent change. Because if you're going to be out here and say, oh, I'm a change agent, and when you come on the scene, you don't change nothing. You change exactly the way the scene changed. That's how you do. Change agents change the entire atmosphere, and the atmosphere stays that way permanently. It don't flip back. And neither does a change agent. So if God made a change in your life, it should be a permanent change. That's all I'm saying. If the folk around you ain't changing, if the folk around you can't see the change in you, and if they can easily get you to change back, you ain't a change agent. You're just not. Hey, Coach K, I see you. You're just not. So it's time to get real. But I sat there and I talked to her. We talked for an hour. And even though we had to communicate mostly in the chat because of the interference and the connection, she was just, it was like a boardroom meeting. And I literally just wanted to just knock all my stuff off my little stand right here and just get on the floor too. Because it humbled me just like that. And God said, this is your why. He said, this is your why. He told me, he said, Carrie, keep doing it the way you've been doing it. Don't change up nothing. Let them do whatever they do. He says, you making a difference. And I didn't wait for somebody to tell me that. God told me, and then God showed me that I was making a difference. And she is so excited. I'm super duper excited. I'm still tearing up, y'all, because it was just an amazing feeling. So if you ain't changed nobody's life for the better, if you haven't made them feel wanted, if you haven't made them feel like God is there, and see it, and here's one of my biggest issues, and I'm gonna get off of here because I told y'all 2 minutes and I done went way over 2 minutes. It's one of the biggest issues. Y'all be looking at the wrong stuff. Y'all are still stuck on trying to do things with people who are familiar. And you can't go where God wants you to go if you won't let go of where you are. If you won't let go of where you are, God can't take you nowhere. I'm just telling y'all honest God truth. He changed my entire surrounding, my entire arena. The entire arena. I started looking around. One moment I recognized faces. The next moment I had no idea. I had no idea, but God had spoke that thing to me about, I think it was in 2017. And I remember posting it here on Facebook. I'm gonna have to find it. When God told me he was gonna take me somewhere where people didn't even know me. He said, I want to take you where folk don't know you. Because when he takes you where people don't know you, they get the real authentic you. Because folk who know you, they only know who you used to be. And they only know who you are to them. And so God told me he wanted to take me where folk didn't know me. And that's how I know that they're there for the real reason. That's how I know that the friendships and the connections are authentic, because they didn't know me before now. And I'm so glad they didn't. Folk now, they connect because of your name and your influence. These women had no idea who I was. Some of them still don't. They just know I'm the lady who taught their class, and they were grateful to be able to get a scholarship through the UN to get in this class. And so me and her were sitting there, and we're talking, and I'm snotting up, and I'm still worried about how I'm going to get her money, how we're going to make sure she get this, because we want to make sure her books, because she can't sell them over there. So we're going to make sure that she's on Kindle and all this good stuff. But she also wants women over here to have that physical book in their hand. And I told her she ain't got to worry about it. So I'm going to make sure women over here get the book in their hands. That's what she wants to see. She wants to see women with that book in their hands. And I told her we are, but I'm going to make sure that she gets compensated. And I told her, even if we have to do it, man, through MoneyGram, whatever grams that are out there, Western Union, whatever she can get to over there, we're going to make sure that she gets compensated, because this is her life. This was her experiences. And I just sit here and I look around and I say, God, I'm so sick of... Listen, y'all, can I be real with y'all one time? Hey, Elder Tyrone, can I be real with y'all one time while I'm over here snotting? I might as well just going in, and y'all can blame it on my emotions, I guess. But I'm not emotional, but I'm so sick of us. I'm just so, I really am. I'm sick of me and Vicky. That's my girl. Me and her always have these conversations, and she don't want, I can really, really, really get real with. And then I have somebody else I'll never mention their name that I can get raw with. But I'm so sick of women just won't work together. You won't collaborate because you're afraid that the next woman is going to be more successful than you, not understanding that success can rub off on you and they'll do it with them. I'm so sick of women not being able to collaborate because one person want to collaborate with you, but the other person really want to steal what you got because they don't want to go and seek out God for themselves, for their vision. I am so sick of that. That's why most of the time I do stuff by myself. Hey, Pastor Ramon, I see you. That's why I do stuff by myself. That's why I always say, guys, you know what? Teach me how to do this. Teach me how to make this happen, because there has been so many times where I said, hey girl, okay, hey girl, can you show me this? Men, y'all too. I'd be like, can you show me this? Can you tell me how to get this? Or where did you get that done? Because I would like for me to be able to do that too. And they just won't say nothing. They just won't do nothing, or they won't respond because you're afraid that if I use the same, let's put it in hair, okay? I got my own stylist. Hey, Brenda at 760 Naturals. Let me put it in hair. Y'all won't even tell nobody y'all hairstylists because y'all scared somebody gonna go get their hair done and their hair gonna look better than y'all's. That's just the stupidest stuff I've ever heard of. Stupid. You won't share your resources with nobody because you're afraid that, if they use this website to get their website looking good, their website gonna look better than your website. The stupidest stuff I've ever heard. Just the stupidest stuff. You won't tell nobody where you went and got your shirts done. I tell everybody where I get my shirts done. I be like, I'll give you the name, number. You won't tell nobody where you got your shirts done because you scared they going to go get their shirts done and their shirts going to look better than yours. That's the stupidest stuff I've ever heard. That's the stupidest and the dumbest stuff I ever heard. This stuff that y'all out here call hating, this is why I say, God, I got to keep going. I got to, because somebody just got to do it God's way. What y'all be calling hating out here, psychologists call it a mental disorder. It's something wrong with somebody mentally that hate to see other people go up. It's something mentally wrong with a person that will hate on somebody for doing better. Not doing better than them, but doing better than they were doing before. It's just something mentally disturbing about somebody who knows somebody needs something, ain't got it, but won't give it to them because they afraid it's going to work better for them than it will for the person who got it. That's the dumbest stuff. There's something wrong mentally there. And this is why I don't understand why the church won't even address mental illness. Probably because half of the leaders out here probably got that same mental illness. Y'all won't go and fellowship with one another because they not in your same reformation. Y'all won't even invite them to your whatever, or you won't even go and celebrate their anniversary because they didn't come celebrate the anniversary with you the last 3 times. That's a mental disorder. It's something wrong with that. It's something wrong with that. And this is why I say, you know what, God, I got to keep going. Yes, Elder Tyrone. Yes, clinically. I told God, I said, you know what, God, I'm just so grateful. Just keep using me in right here. I don't want to look like nobody else. I don't want to sound like nobody else. I want to just be me. I just when people see me, they be like, yep, that's her. Okay, that's it. I don't want to listen. I don't want to be part of y'all little cliques. Keep that mess. I don't care. I don't want to be part of none of that foolishness. Because for me, that's some high school stuff. I don't want to be part of your little inner circles. I don't want to be part of none of this stuff. I just told God, just keep me right where he has me, right here on the outer court. Just keep me out here. That's what Jesus was. Jesus didn't even go on the inner court. Jesus stayed on the outskirts of the stuff. Just keep me on the outskirts. Because that's where the people really want what God has. The folk on the inside, they don't want what God got. They want to look like they want stuff. They want to look like this, and they want to sound like that. And I say, God, but when he reminded me of my why today, I said, yep, I gotta keep staying on my grind. M-Y, capital M and Y. The way that God told me to do it. I don't care. You can throw 50,000 crystals on whatever you got. And you can put zippers and bow ties and whatever on whatever. The way that God has me doing stuff is God is using it to heal people. That's the purpose. It ain't up here to make me look good. I'm not here to look good, because half the time I look a grand mess. You know, I ain't here to look good. I'm here to help. I'm here to empower. I'm here to encourage. I'm here to educate. That's what I'm here for. Y'all can have all the rest of that mess. And if y'all would really, 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 really want to know why you ain't moving, because y'all ain't even doing what it is you're supposed to be doing with the vision that he gave you. You don't even know your why. You don't even know your why. You're looking for everybody else so you can copy a why from somebody else, and it won't work because it's not your why. It's not yours. If you don't know what your why is, I suggest you go back and seek God for it. I know mine. He shows me mine, and he showed me mine again today. Because sometimes what I do, and see, and this is where leaders need to just quit. I would say stop perpetrating, but that ain't even that's not even convicting them. Quit lying. Okay. Sometimes, boy, I be sitting down and the enemy just be in my head. He just be all over here, in my head, in my ear. Now, let me tell y'all something before y'all get super extra spiritual. Before y'all get super extra spiritual, if Satan talked to Jesus, he'll talk to you. So don't be talking about, I don't even hear the devil because I'm behind the veil. He can't talk to me. He can't. Yeah, he is. He talking to you because you're doing the crazy kooky stuff. So we know he talking to you, okay? So the enemy be sitting here when I just be doing stuff. It is sad, Coach Daphne. It's so sad. I be sitting here and the enemy just be talking. He just be like, you know what? Ain't nobody getting nothing from what you're doing. You need to just stop. You need to just let it go. You need to just shut it down. You need to just forget about it. Don't even do it no more. Because ain't nobody paying attention. Ain't nobody saying nothing about nothing what you doing. And I say, you know what? And I talk right back to him. So if y'all say y'all don't talk to the devil, then there's something wrong with y'all, because I talk right back to him. And I always tell him when he be all up in my ear with that stuff. See, I be battling over here. Y'all be playing with the devil. I don't. He be talking and stuff, and I turn right back around. I say, you know what? Even if it's one, I won. Even if it's one, I won. You know what? Let me tell you something about that one, Pastor. Because the Bible calls him the father of lies. It calls him the father of lies. And it calls him the accuser of the brethren. But in these types of situations, when he be saying, you know what? Ain't nobody. And the sad part about it is, before we call him a liar, let's look at the people around. Let's look at the people around. They paying attention. He be saying, oh, there ain't nobody paying attention. They're paying attention. They're paying attention, but they're not doing nothing. Before we just say, you know what, he lying about folk because they are this and they are that. He be telling the truth about some of these people out here. And you know, if the devil is telling the truth about you, it's something wrong with you. It's something wrong with you. It's something wrong with you. Why would we want to make what the devil say true? Why would we do that? Why would we want to make what the devil says about us true? God said he's the accuser. When he come to accuse us, the stuff he tells about us ought to be a lie in God's face. But the shameful part about it is the stuff that the devil be speaking out here about us these days be the absolute truth. We toe up. And we just still want to say, oh, the devil's just busy. No, you ain't busy enough. He ain't busy. That joker doing the same thing. Y'all see, y'all got me over here talking. He doing the same mess he's been done for in days of old. He ain't doing no more and no less than he did when Jesus was here. The problem is you ain't busy enough. You ain't busy enough. You not doing what you supposed to do. I say, God, listen. Anytime that joker go before God on me, everything he said about me gonna be a lie, because I'm making sure that I do what God is telling me to do. So if that joker go before God and be like, God, you know what? She ain't about her purpose. She ain't about this. God gonna be like, you a lie. I get wore out on my purpose, because that joker will never be able to speak nothing contrary. When he do accuse me, it'll be a lie. Some of these folk out here, Pastor, that he accusing, he telling the truth. They doing exactly what he said they doing or ain't doing. So yeah, that's why I don't be out here talking about, you know what, the devil is a lie. No, he ain't, because some of this stuff y'all really is doing. Some of the stuff y'all really is doing. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Simple obedience. Exactly, Elder Tyrone, simple. But guess what? They act as if it ain't simple. They act as if it ain't simple. And God just tell us just to be obedient. And he told us to be obedient, y'all, over the small stuff. The small stuff. He told us to be obedient over the small stuff. Let me tell you something. And I'm gonna jump back on my writing course. Y'all can say what you want to. Listen, again, I used to make disclaimers over here and say, if you thin skin, get off my live. But no, now y'all need to get some of this. Y'all need to get some of this. If it hit you, say ouch and do what you need to do. But when he told us, if we were just faithful over the few little things, our problem is we flip-flop. We flip-flop. See, but when you know your why, you don't flip-flop. That's why people really don't fool with me too much, Chaplain Clark. Folk really don't fool with me too much, because I don't flip-flop. If I told you no yesterday and you come back to me today, it's still a no. If I told you that you jacked up an hour ago and you come back to me again, I'm still going to tell you jacked up. If I told you, listen, deuces, because I can't have toxicity in my life, and you come back saying something else different, no, I don't flip-flop with people. And seeing people and people in the ministry, they try to take these scriptures and they try to twist them and turn them to try to make it seem like, okay, well, I gotta do this and I must, and Jesus didn't do that, y'all. Jesus didn't do that. Jesus didn't flip flop with anybody. Jesus said, do this. And if you don't want to, cool. But he went on. He didn't debate with people over what he was trying to get them to do. Jesus didn't sit there and flip-flop with folk. Jesus didn't beg people to do nothing. Jesus didn't care if people supported what he was saying or not. He kept on doing the work. Jesus didn't care if people would follow him or not. He kept doing the work. Jesus cared about them 12. If he didn't get no more than 12, he was cool with the 12. Y'all won't do nothing and y'all will postpone stuff. Y'all, come on, let's just get real. Y'all will postpone. If I don't have at least 25 people, or I'm going to keep on going because I don't want it to be less, because I need my pictures to look like this, and it still wasn't nothing. Your pictures look good, but what good did it do to folk that came to whatever it is that you had? Was the 25 people worth the one person that you really could have ministered to? That type of stuff. That's why I always say, if I don't get but one, I'll do it for one. I'm not out here trying to make stuff look all big. I'm not, that's not me. I don't care. Man, y'all better listen here. I'm going to tell y'all this story. I remember doing my first workshop. I had 7 people. You would have thought we had 700. My first workshop, I had 7 people. My first conference line that I had, my first prayer conference line, I had 2 people. And they came on 30 minutes after I was on the line, and I was getting ready to shut it down. And I'm so glad I didn't, because the woman on there was going to commit suicide. See, some of y'all won't even do a live and won't even begin live if y'all don't see these numbers go up. Worried about numbers and not worried about somebody's deliverance. Not worried about if somebody is even getting encouraged from what you say. I tell y'all, I do more than I post. I'm just being honest. I do way more than what I post. The stuff I post is the stuff that I'm allowed to post. I do way more than what I post. But everything I do, it ain't to be televised. Because I don't need everybody to be jumping on board just because now they see all the stuff that goes on in the background. I don't need them type of people on my crew, as I say. That's why I keep scissors. My daughter always asks me all the time, and it's a running joke with us in the car. I have scissors in my car. Y'all know why we keep scissors in the car. So if you get in an accident or something and you have to cut the seatbelt. But I always tell them, she said, Mom, why you got these scissors? I say to cut off my coattail. When I get too many coattail riders, I'll sacrifice my coattail so I can continue to do what God told me to do than to be dragged down by people who are not even there for the right reasons. So that's why I do what I do. I know my why. I don't do it according to nobody else. I don't. To some folk, it looked like, man, she just out here just doing stuff. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. My accountability know exactly what I'm doing. God knows exactly what I'm doing. And everybody will never know exactly what I'm doing. Not everything. You will not. I post what I'm allowed to post. I post what I feel is going to help other people. That's going to encourage somebody. I ain't out here just posting to be posting. I'm not out here trying to look like somebody else. I'm not out here trying to do it like somebody else. Let me tell y'all something. I told one of my friends yesterday, she called and she checked on me yesterday, and me and her were talking. The same one that was asking me, how do you do what you do? Because I told her I have this whatever mentality. And no, it may not sound like, quote unquote Christian to a lot of people, but I have to have that type of mentality, because if I get stuck on what people saying and on what people doing, I would never get things done. So I have this whatever type mentality when God has me on assignment doing things, and God constantly has me on assignment. Even with this migraine, I'm on assignment. I have a whatever type attitude. If you ask me something and I say, okay, this, and that, and if I tell you, okay, well, this is what you need to do, and you don't do it, it's whatever to me. I don't sit there and go back and forth with people. And people who have experienced that with me, they'll tell you, I mean that. I don't go back and forth with people. I don't have time nor energy, and I don't have no oil to waste on people that don't want nothing, that has never wanted nothing, and ain't gonna want nothing. They just want to sit there and wear you out. I don't have time for that, because I know my why. And I thank God that he continuously showed me what my why is, so I don't get stuck dealing with folk who just don't want to go nowhere. And it's sad to say, some folk don't. Jesus dealt with people who didn't want to go nowhere. He dealt with people like that. And he didn't sit back and he didn't try to make them go anywhere. He didn't do that. He said, you can go or not. Here's what you need to do in order to follow me. That's all he did. He told the disciples, he said, listen, he said, okay, stop what you're doing and follow me. If they did, if they didn't, he kept on going. He kept on going because the mission was bigger than trying to convince people that you are who you say you are, that you can do what you can say you can do. And listen, y'all, cut this out too while I'm on my soapbox. I told you I was going to be on my soapbox. I'm going to get off of here. Stop doing stuff out of your emotions. I'm hoping y'all sharing this. Stop doing stuff out of your emotions. Stop doing stuff because somebody wouldn't let you do something, and now you doing something to try to prove something, and basically you ain't doing nothing. Okay, stop doing that type of stuff. That's not your why. That's not your why. Your why is not that. And then some of y'all need to understand this. Hey, Sabrina, some of y'all need to understand this. Your why ain't even going to be a capital Y, as we used to say, a big Y. It may be a small Y. Because God ain't going to use everybody like that. God's not using everybody all big and on these big scales and these big arenas. He ain't using everybody like that. He didn't use me like that in the beginning. But because I understood what my why was, I was willing to do the small stuff. And because he knew I was faithful and he saw I was faithful with that small stuff, this is 10 years in the making. I always tell people, we're going on 11 years now with this stuff in the making. It took me almost 10 years to get to just a cup with my logo on it. Yeah, I'm talking about the why today. Talking about the why today, and how this young lady who was in my writing class just reminded me. Once again, God used her to remind me that I'm doing it right. I'm doing it unpopular. I'm doing it unusual, but I'm doing it right, because if it's popular halftime, it ain't God. He does stuff peculiar because we're peculiar. Our stuff ought to look strange to people. It ought to look strange to people who are not like us. It should look strange. It's not supposed. If y'all would just get that inside of your spirit, then y'all will be okay that when your stuff don't look like old girl stuff or old guy stuff, you on the right track. It's supposed to look different. Sometimes it's supposed to just look like out of this world. Your stuff ain't supposed to be like everybody else's stuff. If you start to see your stuff looking like somebody else's, then you need to sit back and say, okay, wait a minute, God, now. I'm not saying that you shouldn't mentor someone and we see some of their characteristics and traits because we saw God in Jesus, okay? I'm not talking about that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Know what your why is. Seek God out for your purpose. Because I keep telling y'all that. Can't nobody tell you your purpose. That's impossible. That's impossible. God is the author of that. Can't nobody tell you that but God. Okay, y'all? All right, well, I'm going to get off here. That's all I came on to say. I just came on just to share a little bit, but I'm going to get off of here. I ain't come to beat y'all up, but y'all know I'm quite sure somebody. But if you're catching this on replay, I thank you for stopping and watching. If you shared, thank y'all for sharing, because I'm so over this. I'm so over this. Thank y'all. I'm so over this whole competition stuff. Can I say stuff, y'all? Because I really wanted to say crap. That's what I wanted to say. So over this crap that you won't share nothing because you scared that your followers gonna like what they said. That's the dumbest stuff I ever seen. See y'all, see how y'all, I have to bring it down because I'm not supposed to be on the street. That's the dumbest stuff I've ever seen in my life. Thank you, Elder Tyrone. It's the dumbest I've ever seen and heard of in my life. You don't want to share it because you're scared somebody gonna pick up something from what somebody else said and it didn't come from you. Dumb. Dumb. I've never seen such dumb stuff from so many supposedly intelligent people in my life, y'all. I really have not. I just sit back and I say, God, now how dumb is this? How childish are we? Are we still in high school? No wonder God is just sitting there looking at us. No wonder sometimes we're in the things that we're in, because we do some of the dumbest stuff I've ever seen. And I don't care who don't like me saying dumb, because it's dumb. Some of the stuff we do is just dumb. I've never heard that. I'm one of them people that, listen, you may not be saying nothing and you may not have nothing that interests me, but somebody that I know may need that, and then they calling you, and now you gonna call me, but then when you could have just gave them what they needed in the first place. See, that's the dumb stuff. That's why we have not advanced. Y'all hear this all the time, but this is why we have not advanced as a people. We have not advanced as a people. We don't do it. And black people, y'all know we the worst at it. Say what you want to, but the truth is the truth. Only a hit dog gonna holler. We're the worst at this. We don't want to help another black person get nowhere. We the black person that's getting somewhere. We don't want to help nobody do nothing. We don't. Because if we can't be the star, and if we can't be the center, then we're not going to let nobody else. And we're not going to push nobody. Whew, the dumbest stuff. I'm telling y'all, they just need to just get couches and just line them up and just say, just go lay down. Because you need to get therapy behind that type of thinking. I don't understand that type of thinking, and I stopped. I said, God, I don't understand. I said, I don't understand. How is me helping somebody going to diminish what I'm doing? I thought that was the point. I thought that's what we're supposed to do. I thought that's what we've been called to do. You ain't no ambassador for Christ. You are not. You ain't no ambassador for Christ. You ain't no change agent. You ain't no kingdom carrier. You ain't none of them. You're not none of them. You're not. You're a hindrance. The end. Okay? All right, y'all. Let me stop. My head starting to hurt. Let me go. I got a book to edit. I got another author to help. Okay? Anyways, I hope this helps somebody. I pray that it encouraged somebody. And if you have comments, concerns, all right, or prayer requests, just send them to me over at chaplomax72@gmail.com, or any of my other emails that y'all may have. Send them over there. So, that's all I come on to say, because it's just time out. But one more time, y'all. Y'all know better to give a pastor a microphone. It's a shame that people have been lied to so much that now they thank you for telling them the truth. Yeah. Yep. I was on a Zoom meeting working on a project, and one of the ladies says, thank you for always being truthful. Thank you for just saying what other folk should say but won't say because they're scared to say it. I always tell people, and people preach on me, and I don't care, and they think I don't be knowing, but I do. People be doing sly slick stuff, as we say. I don't care. It don't bother me. It really don't bother me. But I'm always going to tell the truth. I'm always going to tell the truth. So that's just how it is. I'm going to tell the truth. I ain't for everybody. Period. But God has used me in the areas where he has. And people just need to understand that all of our assignments, we work for the same boss. Our assignments are the same, but our approaches are not. But one thing he did not call me to do, he didn't call me to water the word down. He didn't call me to sugarcoat it. He didn't call me to lie to people. And I'm not going to do it. So there y'all go. That's me in a nutshell. But that's my why. So when you know why you call, then you'll operate in that. And you're going to find out that you're not as loved as folks say out their mouth when you start telling them the real truth. Because when you start telling people the real truth, they're going to fall off. They'll fall off. You'll know if you're really telling people the real truth. You will. Anyways, let me go. We got things to do. But thank y'all for rocking with me. Thank y'all for rolling with me. Thank y'all for the real people who support for real. Thank y'all. And if you shared this video, thank you for that too. And God bless y'all. All right. I'll talk to y'all another time. Bye.